To describe this game as legendary would be a significant understatement. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time wasn't just a Nintendo 64 classic, but it was a pioneer for 3D adventures and gaming as a whole. When this game initially dropped in 1998, my mind was blown. Everything felt perfect. The atmosphere, the tone, the story, the pacing, and the climax. To many people, including yours truly, this game is seen as the greatest video game of all time. And I even stated my case in this video if you're interested. To this very day on Metacritic, this game remains as the highest rated video game of all time. So with all of this in mind, this title might even seem like it's sacrilegious to some. I mean, why would you even bother remaking something that's already seen as near perfection in the eyes of many? It might even seem less necessary to some when you consider the fact that the game was technically remade in 2011, when Ocarina of Time released on the Nintendo 3DS. Regardless, rumors persist that this game is being remade once again, this time for the Nintendo Switch 2. Let me be clear, these do appear to be just rumors, but at the very least, Nintendo has been paying homage to this classic game quite a bit lately. So who knows, maybe there's something to it. But the question now becomes, does it actually need it? Well, today, I'm breaking down some reasons why I actually think it might. So please, let me know in the comments section below if you agree or disagree with these reasons. Reason number 1, it was a product of its time. When it comes to stuff like the music and the game design, there's no question that Ocarina of Time has stood the test of time. But the reality is, not everyone sees this game the way that I do. I'm 35 years old, and I was just a child when this game dropped. When I first got my hands on Ocarina of Time, I had already played through A Link to the Past a countless number of times. So when the world got blown up and went from a 2D scale to a 3D scale, my jaw hit the floor. This was unlike anything I had ever seen before, and the world of Hyrule felt massive at the time. The way people were raving about Breath of the Wild's huge map was the way I was raving about Ocarina in the late 90s. But today, that same map that I was once mesmerized by now seems relatively small to younger gamers. The graphics are also tough for younger fans to digest. To me, it looks great, but that's because I'm seeing it with the same rose-tinted glasses that I was once wearing in the 1990s. For gamers who were not alive back then, it's more of an eyesore, with these extremely jagged edges and incredibly simple character expressions. Now, I'm not just talking about a remaster or an HD upgrade, but with an actual remake, the game could be made into a visually stunning masterpiece, and the map of Hyrule could then be significantly expanded to give younger gamers the same feeling of wonder that we had in 1998. I don't just want a simple touch-up. I can go back and play the N64 version or even the 3DS version basically whenever I want. What I think this game needs is the most ambitious remake that Nintendo has ever done. Bring in an orchestra for the remade soundtrack, expand the world and add various collectibles throughout, maybe even introduce some voice acting to add that extra layer of depth and emotion. The potential for a true remake would be incredible to say the least. Reason number 2. Zelda fans are starving for more traditional Zelda. Recently, Eiji Aonuma asked Zelda fans why they would want to go back and have modern games made the same way they were in the past. And to a certain extent, I get his point. Nintendo has almost always been about innovation and trying something new, even when it's been incredibly gimmicky. With that being said, a large section of the Zelda fandom is still starving for the more traditional format, and those fans like me are not going away anytime soon. Remaking Ocarina of Time would be a tremendous way to satisfy most of those fans, and Nintendo could also use that as a way to gauge the overall level of interest in the more traditional Zelda format. There's no reason Nintendo can't be working on multiple styles of games simultaneously. Have one team develop the Breath of the Wild style games, while another team handles the traditionally structured games. Not only would it satisfy the hungriest section of the fandom, but it could also unify the fandom overall. as it would become easier for people like me to appreciate the Breath of the Wild series if traditionally structured Zelda games are still being developed simultaneously. Reason number 3. It would undeniably fly off the shelves and make Nintendo a lot of money. Now, Ocarina of Time is not the best-selling Zelda game in Nintendo history, not by a long shot. But what you have to understand is that the Nintendo 64 didn't sell nearly as many units, and if you break down the percentage of console owners who had that specific console's Zelda game, then suddenly Ocarina of Time is adjusted to be one of the most popular Zelda games of all time. If this game got a proper remake, then the hype train would be utterly insane, as both old and new fans would be pre-ordering their copies in mass quantities. Even for people who didn't experience the initial magic in the late 90s, they would still want to see what all of the commotion is about. Fear of missing out would be a major factor here. For goodness sake, we're literally talking about a big budget remake of the highest rated video game in all of history, on the console that had the most successful launch of all time. There's just no way that this game wouldn't make an absurd amount of money. And if you know anything about Nintendo, then you know that they're all about the money. Why did Breath of the Wild get a super DLC version with Tears of the Kingdom? It's because they followed the money. Nintendo could remake any Zelda game they wanted, but there's a reason they made the entire timeline hinge upon this one. Because this one was a big, big deal. I don't know if it's coming soon, but at some point, I do believe that this game will get yet another remake. And at this point in time, I do believe that it's absolutely necessary. So what do you guys think? Is it time to remake Ocarina of Time? Or is there another Zelda game that you'd like to see get a remake instead? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more Zelda and Metroid content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.